Hey everyone, it's Erin, Sorensen, and Brady Oltmans with Hail Varsity, and we are here in Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days, day one. It's a little bit of an, I'd say, anticlimactic day, only because Nebraska will be here for day two. However, little insider information, the team will arrive in Indianapolis later this evening, so depending on when you're watching this, that would be Wednesday night, sometime in the evening. I'm sure they'll go to dinner, give them a night on the town.
Yeah.
That made that sound way more dramatic than it is, but that is typically what the teams like to do, is allow the teams to spend a little bit of time enjoying Indianapolis before they have to come and do all the fun media stuff that you get to see right behind us. So here we are, a day without Nebraska, but we did hear from, what, 7 other Big Ten teams?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's recover.
Yeah.
Kind of. Let's recap what we heard today. Brady, we were just talking before we started filming this. What were some of the bigger takeaways that, just listening to the other coaches?
Well, obviously the big story of the day is Northwestern and everything that's going on with that football program. The 3 players were not here, but interim head coach David Braun was here, spoke up at the podium, and then again with reporters for, 35, 40 minutes.
It's usually they meet, so they do typically meet for almost up to an hour, and I think he got close.
It was a long time. I mean, we were both standing around there, and it was a lot. But clearly, a lot of interest in that.
And a lot to talk about.
Kirk Ferentz in Iowa gave updates there, along with the sports wagering scandal 26. I don't know if you call it a scandal, but I think it's last number 26 Iowa athletes. They weren't all football players, were linked to a sports betting, sports wagering investigation in Iowa. I think there are about 15 from Iowa State. So Kirk Ferentz spoke a little bit about that. You can get your Iowa and Northwestern, the off-field scandal story insight on hailvarsity.com, probably by the time that you're watching this.
We'll see how quickly I can upload this, and if you get done with the first day recap before I get this video posted.
Perfect.
It'll be a race to see if this video is live by the time you're looking for it, or
right.
if you're looking for the notebook.
All right. Well, then, since we're
out of here,
since we're on a timer, Ohio State also win today. Ryan Day was pretty bullish on his squad. Obviously, when you make the college football playoff, you're going to feel good about your chances, and when you return probably the best offensive player in the country, you're going to feel pretty good about your chances. So Ryan Day spoke a little bit about that. We heard from 3 Ohio State football players, and then James Franklin and Penn State also spoke. The Nittany Lions really like where they're at. James Franklin was very complimentary of his team. They like the depth that they're at on a lot of the skill positions and at the line. He did mention that quarterback battle they have a blue chip quarterback, the likes of which Penn State really hasn't gotten in a long time. But it's not a given. James Franklin said that that's going to be up for competition in this fall, as well as the specialists, kickers and punters. So those are really the big question marks facing them. But James Franklin likes the way that they operate, and since they just made a Rose Bowl, you tend to think that they got some pretty good chances too. So plenty of good stuff coming out of day one. We'll have all that and more coming up on hailvarsity.com.
Yeah, and in fact, if you're already looking ahead to the season, because Nebraska does start fall camp on Monday, so we are just a matter of days away. Fan Day is Sunday if you are in the Lincoln area or nearby and want to make plans for that. But the whole thing starts. Fall camp begins on Monday because Nebraska does have a little bit of an earlier, that Thursday night game.
Yeah.
The season is going to be here before we know it. And in fact, if you're kind of curious about, what can I expect for the season? We already know Nebraska is going to play a night game now on NBC at Wisconsin, 6:30 p.m. Central. If you see 7:30, that's in Eastern time. That was listed in Eastern time. It's 6:30. It doesn't make it much better when you consider what late November or mid-November is in Wisconsin. So bring your gloves and your hats and everything else. Even if you're inside, it's going to be chilly. Maryland is a 2:30 kick, I believe.
Yep.
I'm trying to now do the conversion from, I'm trying to remember, we are in the Eastern time zone right now. So yeah, there's game times that are coming out because we've been hearing from NBC reporters, CBS reporters, obviously Fox, BTN, everybody is here. I also wanted to just point out for tomorrow, if you're kind of like, what's the plan? Obviously, Nebraska. We will hear from Nebraska, but we will also hear from PJ Fleck in Minnesota. That will be interesting because there's a front office sports article that just came out a little bit ago. I encourage you to go read that. Obviously, with any kind of reporting, others will corroborate and report on things further. So that's one of those things where, like, this is very new. I'm sure PJ Fleck will get asked about it tomorrow. Same with what is happening with Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
He will certainly be asked about that as well. What's going on with his situation and potentially being suspended until basically the Nebraska game. So there's a lot going on, and I'll be honest with you, Nebraska's probably like the least talked about thing right now at Big Ten Media Days, which is that a bad thing in the sense that it's because it's just no drama at the moment?
Yeah, if it were on the on-field stuff, Todd Blackledge spoke very highly about Matt Rule in Nebraska. A lot of the NBC and the analysts did. Again, stay tuned, hailvarsity.com. We'll have plenty of coverage there for that. But that's the thing about media days is it's not just on the field stuff, it's everything beyond it. And that's where we are now with everything up in the air. So it behooves oneself to stay tuned to hailvarsity.com and the news for more info.
Yeah, you should also be sure to just go ahead and stay with us on all of our social channels through tomorrow. Things probably have felt a little bit light just again because there's not a whole lot of Nebraska-based conversations today. However, we have the Big Ten commissioner's statements now on YouTube, and also you can find that on Twitter, but you're probably watching this on YouTube, so just go find the video right here.
Yeah. It's in your related videos over there. Which way? I can't.
Yeah, whichever one.
Yeah.
But anyway, there will be plenty, especially once we get to Nebraska. We will have Matt Rule, but the players that are coming is Ethan Piper, Luke Reimer, and Jeff Sims. So that'll be a lot of fun to hear from them.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about media days that I always feel like I walk away from is you don't really maybe necessarily learn a whole lot of new, but it does give you an opportunity to talk to players and coaches in a setting that is a little bit more relaxed because, as you can see behind us, they do try to set it up where, yes, it's a working area, but the Big Ten studio is in the middle of this whole thing. So when you're watching that on BTN, it's literally happening as we're in the middle of working. They want it to feel casual and a little more easygoing,
light and breezy.
It feels like it is very chilly in this building and 100 degrees outside. So anyway, with that, if you have any questions or anything that you want to know specifically, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and we'll be happy to answer what we can. But please bookmark hailvarsity.com. Follow us on all of our social channels. You can also follow along with Brady, myself on Twitter. We'll be happy to answer what we can. And please read Brady's notebook.
Please.
Please, he's been
I'm
working
begging
really.
you. I'm trying.
I'm trying so hard.
I gotta eat, please.
We will also report back on if, St. Elmo's, what you think of shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
So much to report on. But thank you as always for being here with us. Just exciting. Football season is here already. Can you believe that? Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just going to say thank you without thanking you. But anyway, we'll talk to you later.